If you are a motorcycle enthusiast and you're planning for your first ever Ladakh trip, but you don't know how much money to set aside for this entire trip, then this video is for you. Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'll walk you through the entire expense that I had in my first Ladakh trip. This video will be more focused towards motorcyclists, people who want to ride, either ride all the way from their hometown and go to Ladakh, or want to ship their bike till Delhi via train and then go all the way to Ladakh. This video won't cover the bike rental service that you always have in Ladakh and Srinagar, where you can fly down there and rent a bike and travel, because I'm not sure about the rental service rate at all. This will be more focused towards people who want to take their own motorcycle, go to Ladakh, explore and then come back. This video will be directed more towards riders who are looking for budget friendly options. I have cut down cost wherever possible. I lived in budget friendly places, ate budget food. So anyone looking for a very comfortable, very luxurious trip to Ladakh, then this video is not for you, because I have made it into a very budget, because I traveled on a very tight budget. So I have made all the possible options into a budget friendly option. So this video will cover all kinds of riders, from riders who don't have absolutely any gear but just their bikes with them and are looking forward for the Ladakh trip, to riders who have all the riding gears necessary but are looking for just the expense part of the trip. So I have divided this entire video into two. One is preparation cost and the second is the actual ride cost. In preparation cost, I have divided again into two sections: cost for personal preparation and cost for the bike preparation. When it comes to preparing yourself for the long haul, the first thing you should consider is investing in proper riding gears. I cannot stress you enough the importance of good quality riding gears, not just for the Ladakh trip, but it will serve the purpose for many years to come. A decent set of riding gears will cost somewhere around 22,000 rupees. That includes the helmet, rider's jacket, rider's pants, gloves, and the rider's boots. If you want to know the details of all the riding gear that I have made a separate video on that topic. I will leave the link in the I button above and the description below. All these details I'll be sharing in my blog also, so that link you can check in the description below. Invest in good quality riding gears. It will cost you around 22,000 rupees. Now the next main thing people consider when they're going to Ladakh is to shoot memories and watch it later with their family, or even for your own YouTube channel and all that stuff. So a good quality vlogging gear, I think more than a luxury, it is necessary, because it helps you capture nice moments, nice shots, so that you can rewatch it later, get it inspired, and even go more number of times. A decent action camera with all the helmet mount and all that stuff will cost you somewhere around 6,000 rupees. I think the SJ cams start around that range, 5,000, 6,000 rupees. Next thing you want to consider is memory cards. Take adequate storage, because you will quickly run out of memory. If you have a laptop and a hard disk with you, that's the best option. You can take your laptop and hard disk so that you can back it up every day. Otherwise, if you are not planning to take your laptop or hard disk, carry additional two SD cards, like 64 GB micro SD will cost somewhere around 2,500 rupees each. So carry SD cards and carry a small action camera with helmet mount and everything. It will come around 8,500 rupees. Next thing is camping equipment. Now camping is a must in Ladakh because it is another totally different experience altogether. Camping among the Himalayas gives you a different high. Now you can camp in tents over there. I mean, all the major tourist spots have camp options, tent options, but they are very expensive. For example, in Pangong, so around average a tent per night costs you around 2,000 rupees. That's like more than premium OYO rooms. So if you have your own tent with you, you can pitch your own tent, provided you have adequate sleeping bag, gas cylinder to cook food and all that stuff. You can pitch tents near other tents people usually allow that. So get yourself a 2 or 3% tent. If you're traveling with a pillion, get a 3% tent because you'll need the extra room to accommodate your luggage. 2 or 3% tent, a basic one from Decathlon, will cost you around 2,500 to 3,000 rupees. Then a gas cylinder is required for basic cooking. I carried a 5-liter gas cylinder, and that is more than enough for a month's cooking together. And with the burner, it will cost around 700 rupees. Carry a camping light also with you. You'll get that from Decathlon. That's for 250 rupees. All these product details, I will leave the link in the description below. Carry a power bank also with you. It'll come in very handy. I'm not including the cost of the power bank because I think almost all households will have a power bank with them. Coming to the cookware, you can get a basic 1 or 2% cookware for around like 1,000 rupees from Decathlon. But my suggestion would be to carry your own cookware from your own house. Carry the smallest of cookware possible so that you can fit in your luggage and save money also. Next thing is packaged food items. Protein bars especially are lifesavers. If you are on a tight budget, then make your own protein bars. You'll get plenty of recipes and you can freeze them, or else buy ready-made like 10-20 protein bars with you. It'll come in handy. Get food like oats, peanut butter, jam, pickles, bread, and all other things. So together it should not cost more than 2,000 rupees for you. Next we come to medicines and first aid kit. Have all the necessary basic tablets for like headache, fever, vomiting, ORS sachet for loose motions and stomach pain, all those tablets, and Diamox especially, nifedipine and all that. So carry all those tablets necessary. That will not cost you more than 1,000 rupees. If there is any other tablet that you take regularly, make sure that you stock them up before the trip. To know what kind of tablets to take for AMS, to know how to treat or even prevent AMS, I have made a whole separate video. So go check that in the I button above or in the link in the description below. Next we come to winter wear. The temperatures in Ladakh touches close to zero even in summers. Like in the months of June to September also, at certain places it'll go to zero. So it is better to buy proper winter wear from Manali or from Leh. You don't need to carry it all the way from wherever you're starting because it will add up to the luggage, and it is cheaper there also. Get yourself a winter jacket. It will cost somewhere around 1,000 rupees. Winter pants, winter gloves, and winter socks. So a pair of each should not cost you more than 250 rupees. Next we come to a luggage organizer. A luggage organizer is a game changer. It is a must for people who are traveling in bikes because, and you get it for almost 300 rupees only from Amazon. You can segregate your luggage into many things like clothes, food, tablets, spare parts of the bike and everything, so that in case of a breakdown in the middle of nowhere when you're searching for a spare part, or if you are sick and you're searching for a tablet, you don't have to scramble through the entire luggage. So carry a luggage organizer. It is the best. Along with the basic toiletries, some cosmetics like sunscreen, moisturizer, and lip balms are a must, especially when you're traveling to cold, dry, high altitude terrain. They should not cost more than 1,000 rupees. Next, we come to the section of preparing your motorcycle. The first thing you need to carry is a jerry can. Now, there are enough number of petrol stations all throughout the Ladakh region, but it is better to carry a jerry can because at one tourist spot, there will be like only one petrol station. So if in case there is no fuel there in the station, or if the pump is not working, then you'll not get fuel for like another 300, 400 kilometers. For every bike that gives a mileage less than 30 kilometers per liter, it is ideal to carry a jerry can. A jerry can will cost you around 2,500 rupees along with its holder. Now, I have seen many people carry petrol in plastic bottles and all that stuff. It is not at all safe because you will be traveling through a wide variety of altitudes and the pressures differ a lot. So there are chances that cap can just give away, petrol can leak, or if you suffer a minor fall itself, there are plenty of stones that can just pierce that and can lead to all sorts of issues. So buy yourself a strong jerry can. It will cost you around 2,500 rupees. Now the next thing is fog lamps or auxiliary lamps. You need to get a pair of auxiliary lamps which will cost you around 2000 rupees. Even though you are not riding, you are not supposed to ride before or after sunset. In case if your bike breaks down or something like that and you have to travel in the night, the headlight is not enough in any of the bikes that I've come across. Invest in a good pair of fog lamps. It should not cost you somewhere around 2000. I think with the clamps and everything, it will come somewhere around 2500 rupees. Then comes the luggage system. Instead of mounting your bike with a normal like a rucksack or a shoulder bag and that duffel bag, and then putting all bungee cords and ties and everything, it is better to invest in a proper motorcycle luggage system when you're going on a bike. Luggage system that I use, I have reviewed it in detail in another video. I will leave the link in the I button above and in the description below. Go check that out. I use a tank bag, a saddle bag, and a top box. So that's all I carry, nothing else. It should not cost you more than 9000 rupees. My luggage system consisting of saddle bags and a tank bag is not more than 9000 rupees. So invest in good quality luggage system rather than dumping all the bags and then tying it and all that stuff. It doesn't work because you'll be traveling most of the terrain off-road, so it is bound to get loose, and I've seen bikers struggle throughout the entire their journey. Their bags come loose, they fall off and all the stuff, so they have to stop constantly and tighten it and all that stuff. Don't do that. Now coming to the spare parts of the bike that you should carry. First one is tube tires. If your bike has tube tires, carry a pair of front and back tubes. That is a must. It will cost around 50 rupees each, so that is 900 rupees. Carry a puncture kit with you. About the tubeless puncture kit, I'm not very sure. About the tube ones, you should carry a puncture glue, some patches, a sandpaper. All of this will not cost above 150 rupees. Carry a tire inflator, preferably that you can use with the battery of the bike. It will not cost you around 1000 rupees. Along with the stock toolkit, carry a spanner set and an Allen key set. You can get it in Amazon for around 500 rupees. It will come in very handy, especially if you are struggling to remove a tire to fix a puncture or something like that. Carry a Decathlon microfiber cloth or any microfiber cloth and call in glass spray, because after every day's riding, it is better to clean the visor if you have any, or the headlights and the fog lights. That will cost you around 100 rupees for the cloth and 50 rupees for the call in glass cleaner spray. Next thing you should have on your bike is a phone holder, preferably the one with the charger, USB charger. It will cost you around 250 rupees, so that you can use the phone as a GPS when you're traveling, and you can use the USB port to charge all your phones or cameras or anything like that, or even your power bank when you're traveling, because when you're camping you may not find access to electricity source. So it's better to charge your power bank during the day while you're traveling and use that power bank to charge all your electronic devices at night. Now coming to the actual ride cost. So I traveled from Bangalore all the way to Ladakh and Kashmir, came back to Delhi, and from Delhi I shipped the bike in train till Bangalore. So I traveled around 5,200 kilometers in total, and my bike, the Himalayan, gave an average fuel economy of 30 km per liter, and petrol was around 115 on average per liter around that time. At some places it was close to 120, and in Delhi it was around 9,900 rupees. So I spent around 20,000 rupees in petrol itself, covering 5,200 kilometers on my Himalayan. Now coming to the accommodation part, I mostly stayed in hostels and in cheap Oyo rooms or lodges. I stayed 16 days together in lodges and hostels. 3 days I pitched my own tent, and 3 days I spent in train. So on an average, I spend around 500 rupees per night. There are places where I spend just 300 rupees and places where I spend 600 or 700 rupees. So I've calculated as 500 rupees per night. So I've spent a total of 8,000 rupees in accommodation alone. Now coming to food, whenever it was possible, I used to cook my own food, especially in lodges and in Oyo rooms. I used to cook dinner, and breakfast also. When I camped also, I cook my own food with the packaged foods that I carried all the way from here. What took me by surprise is that in inner line Ladakh, food is very expensive. A plate of momos comes around 200 rupees, a bowl of Maggi comes around 150 rupees and all that. So food is a little bit expensive in the inner line Ladakh. Anywhere else in North India, I think you can get away with cheap food in dhabas and all that. But try to cook as much as possible. If you don't want to cook, then spend in all dhabas and all that stuff. But make sure you eat from hygienic place as possible, because the last thing you want to get during your travel is diarrhea. So when I calculated, I spend around 600 rupees per day on average just for food. So for 21 days, that will be around 12,500 rupees. Now water, surprisingly, I never even spend 1 rupee on water. I used to drink around 4 to 5 liters of water per day. I used to carry 6 liters of water in my bike. When I reached Delhi, I used to drink almost 7-8 liters because it was very hot and we were sweating like crazy. So what I used to do is, in petrol pumps, you have access to clean drinking water. Most of the petrol pumps in North India, you have access to clean drinking water, and some petrol pumps will have cold water also. Whenever I used to stop in a petrol pump to relieve myself or to fill up petrol, I used to top up my water bottles also. In Ladakh, if you are camping, you will have access to either freshwater streams, or you will have access to water sources from the nearby tents itself. So I never spend even 1 rupee on water, and whenever I stayed in hostels and hotels, I used to fill up my bottles from their kitchen. So in that way, you don't have to spend anything on water. Then comes the train ticket back home. If I remember correctly, it cost me around 800 rupees for sleeper class ticket from Delhi to Bangalore. And then to ship my Himalayan from Delhi to Bangalore, it cost me around 5,750 rupees, including the loading, unloading and all that stuff. So that's the shipping charges. Then we come to the miscellaneous expenses. I'll just list out those. The permit, the inner line permit cost me around 400 rupees. Postpaid SIM after reaching Ladakh, it cost me 450 rupees, because the prepaid SIMs won't work. So either you have to convert your SIM to postpaid, or you have to go there and take a local postpaid SIM. Then laundry service in Leh, that was around 150 rupees. Motorcycle service and washing, I did it. I did washing and chain lubing, chain tightening and all in Ladakh, and I did one of the service, that is change in engine oil, brake pad and all that in Manali. So that cost me total around 1,500 rupees. Then sightseeing tickets, if I remember correctly, I never paid for sightseeing anywhere, because you don't need to pay. The only place I paid is for the light and sound show in Hall of Fame. That was around 250 per head. So that's all of the expenses in a nutshell. So the total expense, if you are a beginner who doesn't have any riding gear but has only the bike and who's looking to travel all the way from their hometown till there, in my perspective, like from Bangalore to Ladakh to Kashmir back to Bangalore, it will cost you around 1,10,000 rupees. For me, it cost me around 80,000 rupees, because I subtracted the riding gears, the camera equipment, and the bike preparation costs and all that. So somewhere in around 80,000 rupees, if you are a seasoned rider, you'll have to spend. Why I came up with this video is that when I told my friends about my Ladakh trip, most of them asked me the same question, that how much did it cost you? How much did it cost you? Because even we are planning to go. So can you walk us through? So I hope this video is helpful to all those people who are struggling to budget their entire trip, who wants to know from someone who has already been there how much it will cost them and all that stuff. A detailed description of this entire video I'll be sharing in my blog post. I will give the link in the description below. Go there, check that blog post out, and calculate for yourself whatever you need and whatever you can skip and all that stuff. So I hope I gave you some value and you found this video useful. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. See you next Saturday with another one. Bye bye.